Fact 1. The universe is vast beyond imagination, so vast that light itself, the fastest traveler we know, needs billions of years to cross it. And yet, lying here, you are part of it, stitched into its fabric like a star sewn into a tapestry. The hugeness of it does not overwhelm you. It comforts you, because it means you are safely wrapped in something endless, and there is no edge you could ever fall from. Fact 2. The stars that shine above you are not all alive in the same way. Some are still burning brightly, while others have already gone out, their light still traveling, arriving to you as a gentle echo of what once was. You are not just looking at stars, you are looking into memory, into the past itself, and the night sky becomes a library of what has been. Each point of light whispers softly, reminding you that endings are never abrupt but linger as glows, the way warmth stays even after a candle is blown out. Fact 3. In the dark stretches between the stars, there are clouds of dust and gas, called nebulae, where new suns and planets are born. They are nurseries of light, invisible to your naked eye, but glowing in the gaze of telescopes. It is soothing to think that in the hidden corners of the universe, something is always beginning, quietly, patiently, with no rush, the way seeds wait underground until it is time to rise. Fact 4. The moon, your nearest celestial neighbor, always shows you the same face, keeping its far side turned away. It has been a faithful companion to Earth for billions of years, pulling the tides, guiding the seas, and silently marking the rhythm of nights. Knowing that it is always there, steady and constant, can calm the heart, like the gentle pulse of someone who never leaves your side. Fact 5. Beyond the moon, the planets of our solar system wander like family members, each with its own story. Jupiter, the largest, shelters Earth by catching comets and asteroids in its vast gravity, a quiet guardian you never asked for, but have always had. To sleep knowing that the universe has protectors, even ones made of gas and storms, is to feel that you are watched over in ways you cannot see. Fact 6. Saturn, with its rings, is not a solid structure but countless pieces of ice and rock, circling like a choir around a planet of golden clouds. The rings are thin, astonishingly thin compared to their size, like a veil or a whisper stretched across the heavens. Their delicacy reminds you that even the grandest displays in space are made of fragile details, and it is this fragility that makes them beautiful. Fact 7. Space itself is not truly empty. Between the stars flows a faint sea of particles, radiation, and invisible forces, a cosmic hum that never ends. If you could listen deeply enough, you would hear the background echo of the Big Bang, the universe's first breath, still resonating softly everywhere. It is like a lullaby that has never stopped playing, carrying you to sleep in a rhythm older than time. Fact 8. Black holes, often feared as monsters, are not truly destroyers but recyclers. They pull in matter and energy, folding them into silence. And in the great balance of the cosmos, nothing is lost forever. Even in darkness, there is a cycle, a promise that endings are transformations. To imagine this is to imagine that even your worries can fold inward, becoming something softer, something that no longer weighs you down. Fact 9. The Milky Way, the galaxy that cradles us, is a spiral of hundreds of billions of stars. From Earth, you see only a silver band, like milk spilled across the night. But in truth you are inside one of its arms, a passenger carried effortlessly through the dark. You are not standing still. You are moving with the galaxy itself, drifting calmly at unimaginable speeds, and yet it feels like rest, like rocking on an invisible tide. Fact 10. For every star you see, there are countless others you will never see, hidden by distance, by time, by light itself. And yet, they exist, glowing in their own corners of the night. The knowledge of this abundance is not overwhelming. It is reassuring. It means you are never alone under the sky. Even when the darkness feels empty, it is filled with companions you cannot count, silent presences that remind you of the fullness of existence. And so, as you let these truths drift around you like constellations, you feel your body loosening, your mind softening. The universe is vast, but it is also gentle, and in its immensity you find not fear, but comfort. You are part of its rhythm, part of its glow, part of its rest. Slowly, the facts fade into feelings, the words into warmth, and you are carried, without effort, into the quiet shore of sleep. The night deepens, and with it your thoughts drift further outward, as though each breath lifts you higher into the quiet cathedral of the cosmos. There is no hurry here. The stars are patient, and the truths they hold are not given all at once, but slowly, like drops of dew forming on the grass before dawn. You do not need to gather them. You only need to notice as they arrive, one by one, and let them guide you into rest. Fact 11. The Earth itself is wrapped in a magnetic field, an invisible shield that protects you from the harsh winds of the sun. Without it, life would not flourish as it does. This unseen guardian hums quietly around the planet, and when particles from the sun meet it, they paint the skies in veils of color called auroras. To imagine this shield around you is to feel safe, as if you too are held in an embrace too vast to see, but too real to doubt. Fact 12. Every star you look upon has a lifespan, a rhythm of birth, life, and eventual transformation. Some will swell into red giants. Others will collapse into dense white dwarfs. Yet even as they change, they give their elements back to the universe, scattering the ingredients of new worlds. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen you breathe, all were once formed in stars. You are not separate from the night sky. You are the night sky, reshaped into thought and breath. Fact 13. Between galaxies lie vast stretches of dark space, yet they are bridged by threads of gravity, invisible strands weaving the universe together. Astronomers call it the cosmic web, a lattice that binds everything. To know this is to know that nothing is ever truly isolated. Just as galaxies are linked by unseen ties, so too are you connected to life around you, in bonds that may be invisible but are no less real. Fact 14. There are planets beyond our solar system, called exoplanets, orbiting distant stars. Some are giant, some are rocky, some may even hold water. There are more planets in the universe than stars, a countless abundance of worlds, each with its own possibilities. When you drift into dreams, it is comforting to imagine that somewhere, on some distant shore of starlight, another world glimmers quietly, waiting to be discovered. Fact 15. The sun, the source of your daylight, is itself a star, middle-aged and steady. It burns not with fire but with fusion, turning hydrogen into helium in a process so constant and quiet that it sustains all life here without pause. It has been shining for billions of years and will continue for billions more. To lie beneath its glow, even hidden now by night, is to know stability, a promise that tomorrow's dawn is already assured. Fact 16. Comets, those wandering travelers of ice and dust, loop around the sun in long, graceful arcs. They carry with them ancient material from the birth of the solar system, frozen time capsules of creation. When their tails stream across the sky, it is like watching the universe write poetry with light, a reminder that even the coldest fragments of space hold stories that still glow. Fact 17. The Andromeda Galaxy, your nearest galactic neighbor, is on a slow path toward the Milky Way. But the word collision is too harsh. In truth, it is a merging that will unfold gently over billions of years. Stars will drift past each other without harm, like dancers weaving through a slow waltz. Even cosmic encounters can be graceful, reminding you that change need not be violent. It can be a slow embrace. Fact 18. In the farthest reaches of the universe, galaxies are rushing away, carried outward by expansion. This means that space itself is stretching like a fabric slowly unfolding. You are lying on a world that floats upon this fabric, carried by currents you cannot feel, but that move everything. To know this is to know that stillness and motion can exist together, that even as you rest, you are traveling across eternity. Fact 19. Light itself can be bent by gravity. Massive objects like galaxies curve the very space around them, creating cosmic lenses that let us glimpse what lies beyond. This bending of light is not chaos, but elegance, a soft warping that reveals more than it hides. To drift into dreams with this thought is to imagine that even your own path can bend gently, showing you vistas you did not know were there. Fact 20. At the heart of the Milky Way lies a black hole, vast and quiet, anchoring the galaxy in its gravity. It is not a monster but a center, a stillness around which billions of stars turn. You too have such a center, a calm place within that holds you steady while life moves. To fall asleep remembering this is to find that center in yourself, a gravity of peace that asks for nothing but stillness. And so, with these truths settling around you like a quilt of starlight, the night no longer feels empty but full. The universe is not distant, it is a part of you, and you are a part of it. The facts are not cold, they are gentle, each one a small lamp placed beside your bed, glowing quietly, guiding you toward sleep. And as the glow softens, you too soften, until you are carried again into dreams, resting in the wide arms of space. The night continues to cradle you, and as you drift deeper into its quiet, the stars seem to lean closer, offering more secrets, more whispers that arrive not as sharp lessons but as gentle breaths. Each truth is like a small lantern in the dark, guiding you further into calmness. You do not gather them as one collects possessions. You let them pass through you, leaving only lightness and wonder behind. Fact 21. Space is silent. There is no air to carry sound, so even the most powerful explosions of stars bloom without a single noise. The cosmos moves in silence, and this quiet is vast and eternal. When you listen to your own breathing in the dark, you are hearing what space itself never hears, the soft music of life. And somehow, this contrast makes your breathing more precious, a reminder that silence and sound are companions, not opposites. Fact 22. The colors of stars tell their temperatures. Blue stars burn the hottest, while red ones are cooler. The night sky, if you could see it without Earth's atmosphere dimming it, would shimmer in many shades: blue, white, yellow, red, like jewels scattered in endless black velvet. Each color is a song, a different pitch in the grand harmony. And to imagine them glowing together is to imagine a universe that is not only vast, but beautiful in its subtle variations. Fact 23. Time moves differently in space. Near powerful gravity, like that of black holes, time itself slows compared to elsewhere. This means the universe is not one rhythm, but many, each region ticking to its own pace. It is soothing to realize that time is not rigid, not absolute. Just as your heartbeat slows as you relax, the universe too holds spaces where time rests more gently. Fact 24. Meteors, those streaks of light you call shooting stars, are usually no bigger than grains of sand. They burn brightly for a heartbeat, a flash across the sky, then fade into the dark. Something so small can still paint a memory on the canvas of night. And when you make a wish upon one, you are wishing upon dust, transformed into light by its final fall. There is a quiet poetry in that, reminding you that even the smallest things can leave brilliance. Fact 25. The International Space Station circles Earth every 90 minutes, faster than you can imagine, yet to those aboard, it feels serene. From there, the planet looks fragile and luminous, a blue jewel wrapped in thin clouds. Astronauts say the sight changes them forever, filling them with calm and connection. As you rest here, you can imagine yourself floating too, watching the world spin beneath you, and suddenly your own worries feel very small against such a view. Fact 26. Stars are not scattered randomly. They gather in patterns and clusters, families of light bound together by gravity. Some clusters shine like beaded necklaces, some like clouds of glowing dust. The sky above you is full of hidden gatherings, quiet communities of stars, reminding you that nothing luminous truly stands alone. Fact 27. Even in darkness, there is light that your eyes cannot see. Ultraviolet, infrared, X-rays, all invisible to you but present, painting the universe in layers of color beyond human sight. The cosmos is always more than what you can perceive, and that hidden abundance is comforting. It means that reality itself is deeper, richer, softer than it seems, and you are surrounded by mysteries too gentle to overwhelm you. Fact 28. Some stars live for only a few million years, burning furiously bright, while others live for trillions, glowing faintly but enduring. There is no one right way to exist in the universe. Some shine with brief brilliance, others with patient persistence. Both are beautiful. Both have their place. And in knowing this, you may find peace in your own rhythm, however long or short it feels. Fact 29. There are stars so dense that a teaspoon of their material would weigh billions of tons. These neutron stars are like secrets hidden in the folds of the night, impossibly heavy, impossibly small. Yet even they are quiet, spinning in the dark, radiating pulses of light like a steady heartbeat. To think of them is to feel awe, but not fear. It is to realize that even the strangest things in the cosmos keep a rhythm, like lullabies written in physics. Fact 30. The night sky you see is not fixed. Over thousands of years, the constellations will change as stars move slowly across space. The shapes you know, the hunter, the swan, the bear, are temporary stories, patterns traced for a brief moment in cosmic time. But this impermanence is not sadness. It is softness, a reminder that everything changes shape, but the stars themselves continue shining, long after the stories we give them fade. And so, these truths settle gently into you, each one a quiet step deeper into calm. The universe is not rushing, and neither are you. Its facts are not instructions. They are lullabies, steady and tender, carrying you further away from thought and closer to sleep. The night becomes not an emptiness but a fullness, a field of lights and silences holding you as you drift into dreams, safe within the arms of space. The night is not a boundary but a vast ocean, and as you rest beneath it, you feel as if you are floating on its dark waters, held by the quiet rhythm of stars. Your thoughts slow, like leaves drifting on a calm river, and in that slowing, space itself begins to speak, not loudly, not with urgency, but with a patient voice as old as time. The truths it carries are not meant to wake you but to soothe you, to ease your mind into deeper stillness, to let your body feel lighter, your breath softer, your heart slower. Each fact is a whisper from the cosmos, a note in a lullaby that never ends. Fact 31. In space, sunrise and sunset are not rare events, but constant. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station witness about 16 of them every single day as they circle Earth. Imagine a world where dawn and dusk arrive not once but again and again, painting the sky in endless cycles of gold and violet. To hold this thought as you rest is to know that beauty is not scarce. It is continuous, returning again and again, just as dreams return each night. Fact 32. Gravity is not simply a force, but the gentle bending of space and time itself. Every star, every planet, even your own body, leaves a curve in the fabric of reality, like a soft impression in sand. This means the universe is not rigid but pliable, woven with invisible lines that cradle and guide everything. When you lie still, you too are part of this invisible design, quietly shaping the cosmos by existing within it. Fact 33. Our sun is not alone. More than half of the stars in the galaxy live in pairs or groups, orbiting each other in slow dances that last for eons. Imagine two suns rising together, twin lights pouring warmth over alien seas. To know this is to feel that companionship is a natural law, written into the stars themselves, and that even in the greatest distances, there is always some form of togetherness. Fact 34. There are storms on other planets that dwarf anything on Earth. Jupiter's Great Red Spot has raged for centuries, a storm so vast that 3 Earths could fit inside it. Yet from far away it looks serene, a crimson oval calmly turning in golden clouds. Even chaos in the universe can appear beautiful from a distance, reminding you that perspective softens everything, turning even turbulence into art. Fact 35. Venus, often called Earth's twin, is wrapped in clouds so thick that sunlight barely touches its surface. Yet in our night sky, it glows as the evening or morning star, the brightest point after the moon. To look upon it is to see a promise. Even a world hidden in storms can shine with unmatched brilliance. You, too, may feel wrapped at times in heaviness, yet still you glow, still you shine, even if you do not notice it. Fact 36. The rings of Uranus are tilted with the planet itself, so much so that it rolls around the sun on its side. This strange orientation makes its seasons last for decades, with long stretches of daylight followed by equally long nights. Imagine such slowness, such patience, a world where time itself teaches you not to hurry. To rest tonight is to practice a little of Uranus's calm, leaning into the long rhythm of existence without rushing to turn the page. Fact 37. Neptune, the farthest known planet, sings. Its winds, faster than any on Earth, create vibrations that hum through its atmosphere. Though you cannot hear them directly, instruments have translated these vibrations into sound, and the planet carries a low, steady tone, like the universe itself breathing. To know this is to know that even silence holds music, that everything has a rhythm, and you are listening to it now in the steady cadence of your own breath. Fact 38. Beyond Neptune lies the Kuiper Belt, a ring of icy bodies and dwarf planets. Among them is Pluto, small but dignified, carrying its own moon in a dance of closeness. Though once called a planet, it continues to circle faithfully, unchanged by our names. The cosmos reminds you here that labels do not define truth. What exists, exists, whether called planet or star or dream. You too are beyond labels. Your being is enough, silent and true. Fact 39. Light that leaves a star travels across unimaginable distances before reaching your eyes. Some of the photons striking your vision tonight began their journey before humans ever walked on Earth. They are ancient messengers, carrying stories older than memory. To let this thought settle is to feel that you, too, are part of a longer journey, one that began before you and will continue after, a river of time flowing gently through you. Fact 40. The universe itself has no center. Every point expands away from every other, like raisins rising in bread as it bakes. This means that wherever you are at the center of your own view of creation. The cosmos places you not at the edge, but always at the middle, always surrounded equally in all directions. This truth is a balm against loneliness, for you are always embraced, always held in the symmetry of endlessness. And so the night holds you with these truths, not heavy facts, but weightless gifts, drifting into your mind like falling snow that does not chill but warms. The stars above no longer seem unreachable. They seem like quiet companions, scattered not in chaos but in care. Each one whispers, rest, soften, release. You are not falling away from the universe. You are falling into it, into its arms, into its rhythm, into the quiet. And as your eyes close and your breath steadies, you become another light in this great tapestry, glowing gently, even in dreams. The night stretches endlessly, and the stars above seem less like distant fires and more like companions who lean close, speaking not in words but in soft glimmers. The air around you feels still, but it is a stillness filled with presence, a stillness that hums with ancient truths. You do not chase these truths. You allow them to come like waves against the shore, each one carrying you further from the noise of the day and closer to the ocean of sleep. Fact 41. Galaxies are not alone. They gather in clusters, bound by gravity into great families of light. The Milky Way belongs to one such family, the Local Group, a collection of galaxies moving together through the vast dark. To imagine this is to imagine you too belong to such a group, drifting in gentle company, never isolated, always part of a greater harmony. Just as stars cluster into galaxies and galaxies into families, so do your moments cluster into a life, and your life into the quiet fabric of humanity. Fact 42. Some stars pulse with regular rhythms, expanding and contracting like cosmic heartbeats. These are called variable stars, and their steady pulses allow astronomers to measure distances across the universe. To think of the night sky as a vast body with a heartbeat is calming. The stars are breathing slowly, their pulses echoing across time. And as you listen to your own chest rising and falling, you find yourself in rhythm with them. Fact 43. The universe is mostly made of something invisible, dark matter and dark energy. Together, they make up about 95% of everything, though they cannot be seen directly. This means that most of reality is hidden, quiet, invisible, but still present. To hold this truth in your mind is to feel safe with mystery, to accept that you do not need to see everything to know it surrounds you. Like trust, like love, much of what supports you cannot be measured, yet it holds you firmly nonetheless. Fact 44. The Orion Nebula, visible even to the naked eye, is a place where stars are being born right now. Within its glowing clouds, suns are forming, gathering their light, preparing to shine. It is soothing to remember that creation is not a distant event, but something still unfolding in this very moment, hidden in the folds of space. Even as you rest, the universe continues to weave new beginnings, slow and endless as dawn. Fact 45. On Earth, we measure days by the turning of our planet, but on other worlds, days take on very different lengths. A day on Venus lasts longer than its year, while Jupiter spins so quickly that a day is less than 10 hours. There is no single rhythm that time must follow. Each world rests in its own pace, teaching you that your own rhythm too is enough. That your slowness or your swiftness is part of the design of your being. Fact 46. The Hubble Space Telescope, floating silently above Earth, has shown us galaxies billions of light years away. Galaxies so faint their light began its journey before our planet even formed. To look upon these images is to look upon the earliest whispers of creation written in light across eternity. Hubble is like an eye that never blinks, showing us not only what is far away, but what is deeply ancient. In its gaze, we see that time itself is layered like soft veils, and we are but one layer among many. Fact 47. There are stars so immense that if placed at the center of our solar system, their edges would reach beyond the orbit of Jupiter. These red supergiants glow not with sharp intensity, but with a deep, gentle burn, vast but fragile. They remind you that greatness is not always loud. It can be soft, slow, and immense in its calmness. To lie beneath such stars, even in thought, is to feel wrapped in something larger than fear, larger than time. Fact 48. Some planets wander without stars, drifting alone through the darkness. These are called rogue planets, worlds unanchored, moving endlessly in the quiet. Yet they are not truly lost. They carry their own gravity, their own presence, and some may even hold hidden warmth. They remind you that even in solitude, there is meaning, and even in the dark, there is motion. A drifting planet is still a world, complete and whole, just as you are whole even in stillness. Fact 49. The cosmic microwave background is a faint glow left from the birth of the universe. It is everywhere, a thin veil of warmth still echoing from the Big Bang, like an ember that has never gone out. Scientists have mapped it, and it shows that the universe carries with it the memory of its own birth. To know this is to know that nothing is ever fully forgotten. The beginning still whispers in every corner, just as your own earliest moments remain quietly within you. Fact 50. Beyond all we can see, the universe may be infinite, without edge, without ending. No wall, no boundary, only more stars, more galaxies, more endlessness. Infinity is not frightening, it is soothing. It means that there will always be more light, more places, more mysteries. It means that you are forever inside something vast, embraced without limit, rocked in the cradle of eternity. And now, with these truths floating softly in your mind, the night feels less like darkness and more like a sea of lanterns, glowing in steady rhythm. The facts you have heard do not feel like lessons. They feel like lullabies, gentle reminders that existence itself is kind, patient, immense. You are not standing beneath the stars. You are within them, a part of their story, their pulse, their silence. And as your breath slows and your thoughts soften, you, too, become one more quiet light in the universe, resting, glowing, drifting into the arms of sleep. The night has no edge. It deepens without end, like a tide that never pulls away. You are lying in its current, your body becoming lighter, your thoughts dissolving into the gentle fabric of stars. The more you surrender, the more the universe leans close, offering you truths that are not cold calculations but soft whispers, lullabies dressed in the clothing of science. Every fact is not an instruction but a comfort, a reminder that existence is full of wonder designed not to alarm you, but to soothe you into rest. Fact 51. The Earth is not standing still. It spins on its axis at over 1,000 miles per hour and races around the sun at nearly 70,000 miles per hour. Yet you do not feel this motion. It carries you effortlessly, as if you were a passenger on a ship gliding across calm waters. The quietness of this speed is soothing. Even as you lie motionless, you are in motion, sailing silently through the dark, without effort, without fear. Fact 52. Our solar system itself is moving, orbiting the center of the Milky Way at unimaginable speeds, completing one cosmic lap only once every 225 million years. To know this is to know that your life, your moments, your breath all unfold while your entire world journeys across the galaxy. You are not standing still. You are part of a dance so vast that it makes every second feel precious, yet not rushed. Fact 53. The Milky Way is not alone. It is one of hundreds of billions of galaxies in the observable universe. Each galaxy contains countless stars, each star carrying its own worlds. Imagine a night sky where every point of light you see is but one grain in a desert that stretches without horizon. Yet instead of overwhelming you, this desert comforts you. You are surrounded not by emptiness, but by fullness, a universe blooming endlessly. Fact 54. Stars are born in quiet clouds of gas and dust. They begin as faint sparks, igniting slowly, like candles touched by breath. These nurseries of light exist everywhere in the galaxy, places where new suns gather their fire. To rest tonight is to feel yourself in harmony with this same process of becoming. Your own thoughts, your own dreams, forming slowly, gently, without pressure, just as stars find their glow when the time is right. Fact 55. Not all stars end in violence. Some fade softly, their light dimming until they become quiet white dwarfs, small embers cooling in the dark. They are not gone. They remain, glowing faintly for billions of years, a long farewell that stretches into eternity. The stars remind you that endings are not abrupt, but gradual, gentle, and that fading is simply another form of being. Fact 56. Some stars, however, do end in a final bloom called a supernova, an explosion so bright it can outshine a whole galaxy for a time. Yet from this brilliance, new elements are born: gold, silver, oxygen, carbon, the very materials that make life possible. Even destruction in the universe becomes creation. This is the quiet promise space gives you, that even in change, beauty is born and nothing is wasted. Fact 57. Pulsars, the remnants of certain stars, spin with astonishing speed, sending out beams of light like lighthouses across the cosmos. Their rotations are steady, like clocks that never falter. To imagine them is to imagine the universe filled with tiny beacons, keeping time across the darkness, their rhythm as calming as waves touching the shore. Fact 58. Space is not empty but filled with invisible fields, magnetic and gravitational, stretching endlessly. These fields hold galaxies together, guide planets in their orbits, and give structure to the cosmos. You, too, are held by invisible forces, gravity pressing you gently into the bed, air carrying breath into your lungs. The unseen is not frightening. It is what sustains you, what cradles you without needing to be seen. Fact 59. The light of the stars you see tonight may have taken millions of years to reach you. When you look up, you are not seeing the present but the past, a history book written in light. To rest beneath the stars is to rest beneath memory, to know that the universe itself remembers, and that your place in it is part of an endless story stretching across time. Fact 60. Beyond everything we know, the universe continues. Perhaps it is infinite, perhaps it folds into itself, perhaps it holds mysteries beyond imagination. But whichever it is, it offers the same truth. You are inside something boundless, something that will never run out of room for you. Infinity is not loneliness, it is belonging, for it means there is always space for you to rest, to exist, to dream. And with these truths gathered gently around you, the night no longer feels like absence, but like a presence, quiet and kind. The facts have become lullabies, and the lullabies have become dreams, weaving themselves into your breath. The stars glow not as distant strangers, but as soft companions, keeping you company as you drift further inward. You are part of this rhythm, this glow, this vastness, and the more you release, the more you realize you are already at rest. The night has grown softer, as if it were folding you deeper into itself, and you feel as though you are floating not only through space, but also through time, carried on a current that asks for no effort. You are no longer looking up at the stars. You are within them, surrounded by their glow and silence, drifting as gently as a feather in a breeze too delicate to be felt. The facts that arrive now are not interruptions but companions, arriving as lanterns placed along the path of sleep. Fact 61. In the quiet of the cosmos, even the smallest grains of dust matter. Cosmic dust floats between stars, invisible to your eyes, yet it scatters light and creates glowing bands in the sky. From such dust, planets form, moons are born, and the seeds of life may travel. To know this is to know that nothing is too small to matter. Even the tiniest pieces of existence carry the potential to shape worlds, just as small moments in your own life weave together to make your story whole. Fact 62. The North Star, Polaris, has guided travelers for centuries, not because it is the brightest star, but because it holds its place steady in the northern sky. While all other stars seem to drift across the heavens, Polaris remains constant, a quiet anchor above. To hold this thought is to feel that you, too, have a Polaris within you, a still point that never wavers, no matter how much life moves and turns. It is there, steady and true, waiting for you in the silence. Fact 63. There are stars so large that if placed in our solar system, their size would extend nearly to Saturn. These hypergiants glow with soft intensity, immense yet fragile. Their vastness is not frightening but tender, like a candle burning quietly, even when its flame is greater than imagination. To imagine such a star is to imagine that greatness can exist in silence, without urgency, without needing to be noticed. Fact 64. The universe is expanding, and as it expands, galaxies drift farther apart. Yet from where you rest, this movement is imperceptible, like the slow blooming of a flower in the dark. Expansion does not feel like loss. It feels like breath, like the cosmos inhaling and exhaling. To think of it this way is to let your own breath join it, slow and patient, a rhythm that matches something far older and vaster than yourself. Fact 65. Saturn's moon Titan has lakes and rivers, not of water, but of liquid methane and ethane. Under its hazy sky, seas lap against alien shores. And yet, when you imagine it, you do not feel fear. You feel calm. For even far from Earth, the pattern repeats: skies, seas, and rhythms of tides. The universe reminds you that beauty wears many forms, and water is not the only way to dream of oceans. Fact 66. Jupiter's moon Europa hides an ocean beneath its icy shell, an entire sea larger than all the oceans of Earth combined. Beneath that frozen crust, water moves, warmed by the moon's inner tides. To think of this is to think of hidden life, not in chaos, but in quiet, in depths untouched by light, yet still alive. It reminds you that beneath the surface of everything, worlds, people, even yourself, there are oceans, vast and waiting, carrying secrets gently. Fact 67. The stars themselves are not eternal. One day, even the brightest suns will fade, and galaxies will dim. Yet the universe does not treat this as tragedy, but as part of its rhythm. Just as seasons change, so too do stars, and in their changes, they give rise to new beginnings. To accept this is to find peace in impermanence. Everything shifts, but nothing truly disappears. It transforms, quietly, like snow melting into rivers. Fact 68. Black holes, once thought to consume everything endlessly, may slowly evaporate over unimaginable spans of time, releasing energy until they vanish into silence. Even the darkest places in the universe do not last forever. This is not frightening, it is gentle. It means that everything, even shadow, has an end, and the end is not destruction but rest. To imagine a black hole fading into nothing is to imagine your own worries dissolving too, vanishing quietly without struggle. Fact 69. The constellations you see in the sky are ancient stories, maps written by human imagination. Orion, the hunter; Lyra, the harp; Cygnus, the swan. For thousands of years, People have looked into the same sky and traced these patterns, weaving myths into stars. To lie beneath them now is to be connected to countless others who, across time, also looked upward and found comfort in these shapes. The constellations are not only in the heavens, they live within memory, passed down like lullabies. Fact 70. Space, though vast and cold, carries within it the conditions that allow warmth and light to bloom. Stars form, galaxies swirl, planets harbor seas, and life rises. The darkness is never empty. It is the backdrop against which light can shine. To rest beneath this truth is to see that your own life, too, is not surrounded by emptiness, but by space that allows your light to glow more clearly. The night is not an absence. It is a stage for illumination. And so, as these truths float into your awareness, they do not weigh on you. They lift you, like gentle hands placing you deeper into stillness. You are not apart from these wonders. You are part of them, a thread in the cosmic fabric, woven quietly alongside stars and seas and ancient dust. The night becomes less like something you pass through and more like something that carries you, a cradle that rocks you into dream. Your eyes grow heavier, your breath slower, and like the galaxies themselves, you drift onward, unhurried, into infinite rest. The night holds you now not as an observer, but as a traveler, as if the stars themselves have stretched out their hands and invited you to drift among them. The dark sky above no longer feels far away. It feels like a blanket drawn close, soft and infinite, stitched with points of quiet fire. Your thoughts move slower, like clouds dissolving at dusk, and into that stillness arrive more truths, not to awaken you, but to carry you further inward, to let you rest inside the rhythm of the universe itself. Fact 71. The Andromeda Galaxy, though unimaginably far, is already visible as a faint smudge of light in the night sky. It holds 1 trillion stars, each a sun, each with possible worlds of its own. And though it is 2 million light years away, its glow still reaches you, crossing the dark to touch your eyes. To think of this is to feel that distances are not barriers but bridges. Light itself builds the connection, no matter how vast the separation. Fact 72. In deep space, some stars drift free, no longer bound to any galaxy. These intergalactic wanderers shine alone, yet they do not falter. They glow in the void, solitary but not extinguished. To imagine them is to know that solitude can hold beauty, that even when you feel far from others, your own light remains steady, and in the stillness of being alone, you can glow even more purely. Fact 73. There are storms on Saturn's poles shaped like perfect hexagons, patterns formed by the flow of its atmosphere. These immense clouds arrange themselves into symmetry, a geometry written in wind. It is a reminder that even in chaos, order emerges. Even in turbulence, harmony is possible. To let this image rest in your mind is to feel that your own life, too, holds hidden patterns, soft symmetries that reveal themselves in time. Fact 74. The faint band of the Milky Way that arcs across the night sky is not a single light, but the combined glow of billions of stars. What looks like mist is countless suns gathered together, too numerous to separate. This truth whispers that unity creates beauty, that when many come together, the whole is softer, brighter, more serene. You are part of such a glow, one star among many, adding to the quiet radiance. Fact 75. Mars, the red planet, carries frozen water beneath its surface and once may have had rivers flowing across its plains. Though now dry and silent, the memory of water remains etched in valleys and canyons. It is soothing to think that even in barren places, there is memory of flow, of gentleness, of rivers that once sang. The universe keeps its past alive, holding it softly in stone, as you hold memories quietly in your heart. Fact 76. Mercury, closest to the Sun, has no atmosphere to soften the heat or cold. Yet it continues faithfully in its orbit, scorched by day, frozen by night, unwavering in its path. It is a reminder of endurance, not loud, not grand, but steady, a world that keeps moving through extremes. To rest tonight is to learn from Mercury's silence, that to continue, even gently, is enough. Fact 77. The Great Wall of Galaxies, one of the largest known structures in the universe, stretches for hundreds of millions of light years. Yet from Earth, it is unseen by the naked eye. Vastness can exist quietly, without needing to be noticed. You too may hold within you structures of memory, of love, of resilience, too large to measure, yet invisible to others. And that invisibility does not lessen their truth. It makes them even more intimate. Fact 78. Neptune, wrapped in deep blue, drifts at the edge of the solar system. Its winds are the fastest recorded in the cosmos, yet from afar, it appears calm, a serene sapphire turning slowly in the dark. This is the paradox of beauty. Within motion lies stillness, within storm lies grace. To think of Neptune is to remember that what feels turbulent inside you may appear calm from a distance, and that both realities can be true. Fact 79. The dwarf planet Ceres, nestled in the asteroid belt, carries bright spots of salt that glimmer faintly like hidden jewels. Though small and often overlooked, it holds its own quiet beauty. This reminds you that no matter how small you may feel, there are always lights within you, small glimmers that catch the gaze of those who look closely. You are never without brightness. Fact 80. In the farthest depths of the cosmos, galaxies bend their light around one another, creating illusions of rings and arcs in the sky. These are called Einstein rings, formed by gravity itself shaping vision. The universe, in its silence, becomes an artist, bending light into halos. To rest with this image is to see that reality itself is flexible, that what appears broken can bend into beauty, and that nothing in existence is without grace. And now, with these truths drifting around you like feathers falling in a quiet room, the night feels endlessly gentle. The facts no longer feel separate from dreams. They are part of the same river, carrying you onward, deeper into silence, deeper into peace. Your breath joins the rhythm of galaxies, slow and patient, and as you close your eyes, you are not only falling asleep, you are falling into the universe itself, into its vast, eternal calm. The night carries you further, and you are no longer a listener but a traveler within its vast embrace. The stars seem to drift closer, as if the universe itself wants you to know that you belong here, that every breath you take is part of its rhythm. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are folded into it like a note in a long, eternal song. What arrives now are not lessons but gentle companions, truths that sit beside you like friends in silence, each one softening the mind, loosening the body, preparing you for deeper rest. Fact 81. In the heart of dying stars, elements are forged, including those that shape your very body. The carbon in your cells, the iron in your blood, the oxygen you breathe, all were born in the fiery hearts of suns long gone. You are not made from Earth alone, you are made from stars. To know this is to know that you are part of the sky itself, not just looking at it, but carrying its story within your bones. Fact 82. Some stars exist in pairs that orbit each other so closely they share their outer layers, blending their light together. These are called contact binaries, two beings merging into one luminous presence. To imagine them is to imagine intimacy without words, connection so deep it becomes light itself. You, too, hold such connections, threads of closeness that blur the line between yourself and others, bonds that glow even when silent. Fact 83. There are galaxies so far away that their light, though traveling since the dawn of time, is only reaching us now. Looking into the night sky is like looking into history, watching the universe as it once was. To gaze at the stars is to gaze at memory, at moments preserved in light, traveling patiently across eternity just to meet your eyes tonight. Fact 84. The edge of our solar system is surrounded by a vast sphere of icy bodies called the Oort cloud. It is a silent reservoir of comets, drifting in the dark, waiting. Some may one day fall inward, glowing briefly across our skies. It is comforting to think that even on the boundaries, there is potential, quiet and patient, waiting for its time to shine. Fact 85. Cosmic rays, particles born in distant galaxies, constantly pass through you as you lie here. They do not harm. They pass unnoticed, like whispers from the universe brushing against your skin. To think of this is to imagine that you are never untouched by the cosmos. You are in contact with it always, wrapped in its invisible presence. Fact 86. In distant galaxies, stars can be seen forming in bursts, whole generations of suns igniting together like fireworks frozen in slow motion. These starburst galaxies are nurseries of brilliance, their light flowing outward to fill the dark. To imagine them is to imagine a heartbeat of creation echoing across space, reminding you that new light is always being born, quietly, endlessly. Fact 87. Some planets beyond our solar system orbit their stars so closely that their years last only a few hours. Yet they move faithfully, tracing their paths with precision. To imagine them is to realize that time is not one rhythm, but many, and each has its own grace. Your life, too, has its own rhythm, no faster or slower than it needs to be, perfectly in tune with your journey. Fact 88. The Large Magellanic Cloud, a small neighboring galaxy, glimmers faintly in the southern skies. It is not grand in size, yet it carries stellar nurseries brighter than any in our own galaxy. Beauty is not always in immensity. It is in brightness, in presence, in the ability to shine where you are. To think of this is to remember that your glow does not need to be vast to matter, it simply needs to be. Fact 89. Some stars rotate so quickly that they flatten at their poles, becoming not perfect spheres, but gentle ellipses. Even stars, with all their power, are not flawless circles. Their imperfections are part of their truth, part of their beauty. To rest with this thought is to release the weight of perfection, to see that shape and rhythm need not be exact to be luminous. Fact 90. The observable universe stretches for 93 billion light-years across. yet it may only be a fraction of the whole. Beyond what can be seen may lie endless more, an infinity layered beyond infinity. This does not need to frighten you. It can lull you, for it means that there is always more room, more light, more quiet waiting for you. You are never pressed in by walls. You are always surrounded by openness. And so these truths, drifting one after another, become less like facts and more like waves. They wash gently over you, erasing tension, softening thought. The stars glow steadily, not to remind you of distance, but to remind you of connection. You are part of their song, their silence, their glow. And as you close your eyes, you feel yourself not falling away from the night, but falling into it, safely, as if the universe itself were your bed, your blanket, your dream. The night has carried you far, and now you are drifting in its deepest chamber, where silence itself feels like a cradle. You have walked among stars, breathed with galaxies, rested in the rhythm of light and shadow. And yet, the universe still holds a final handful of truths for you, as if to place them beside you before you fall fully into dream. These last whispers are not endings, but soft conclusions, closing the circle with tenderness. Fact 91. There are stars that live not in galaxies, but in the dark space between them, ejected yet still shining. They glow in solitude, proof that light does not need a home to exist. To imagine them is to find peace in the knowledge that you, too, can shine no matter where you drift. Fact 92. Some exoplanets orbit two suns, rising and setting beneath twin lights. To stand there would be to see two dawns, two dusks, every day. The image itself is enough to quiet the heart, a reminder that beauty is often more abundant than we expect. Fact 93. The oldest light in the universe has been traveling for nearly 14 billion years, and yet tonight it brushes against your eyes. To lie here is to share in the same glow that touched the birth of time itself, a faint but constant thread of connection. Fact 94. In the silent void between galaxies, particles drift endlessly, remnants of stars, fragments of creation, a dust too fine to measure. Even in the most seemingly empty places, something always remains. Emptiness is never truly empty. It is filled with quiet presence. Fact 95. The Milky Way and Andromeda, though vast, are already on their way toward each other. In billions of years they will merge, not in destruction, but in a slow dance, weaving their stars together. Even galaxies seek companionship, proving that motion tends toward embrace. Fact 96. Gamma ray bursts, the brightest events in the universe, release more energy in seconds than the sun will in its lifetime. Yet from Earth, they appear only as faint whispers of light, fleeting and distant. Immense power can exist without intrusion, far away, allowing the night to remain calm. Fact 97. The shapes of galaxies, spirals, ellipses, irregular forms, are written not in chaos but in gravity's quiet hand. Their curves, their arcs, their flowing arms are sculpted by invisible order. To see this is to know that what appears random often carries hidden grace. Fact 98. Even now, new stars are being born in the Milky Way at a steady pace, one every few years, like small candles lit in the dark. The universe is never finished creating. This thought is a lullaby, that beginnings are not rare but constant, woven into the fabric of existence. Fact 99. If you could look back from the farthest edge of the universe, you would see Earth as a faint dot of blue light, barely visible yet shining. From such distance, the world is fragile, delicate, yet it glows all the same. That glow is home, a reminder that smallness does not mean insignificance. Fact 100. The universe, though vast beyond measure, is also within you. The atoms in your body are the same as those scattered through galaxies, the same as those that swirl in nebulae, the same as those that pulse in distant stars. To fall asleep tonight is to remember you are not just lying beneath the universe. You are the universe, resting within itself. And so the circle closes, not with a sharp edge, but with a soft curve, like the horizon folding into night. The facts have become more than knowledge. They have become a song, a rhythm that carries you into sleep. The stars glow steadily, galaxies drift, the earth spins beneath you, and you, small, infinite, eternal, are safe in their embrace. The universe rests, and so do you. The night stretches endlessly above you, yet now it feels less like a sky and more like a memory you are resting inside of. The 100 truths you have gathered about the universe are no longer scattered facts, no longer pieces of information separated by distance. They have become one continuous stream, like stars blending into the soft glow of the Milky Way, indistinguishable yet together creating light. You do not need to recall them sharply, to number them, to hold them with effort. They have already dissolved into you, and you carry them now not as thoughts, but as quiet feelings. You remember how it began, with the vastness of the universe itself, a space so immense that light requires billions of years to cross it, and yet you never felt lost in that scale. Instead, you felt comfort, as if endlessness were not emptiness but a safe embrace, a cradle without edges. You recall how stars are not always alive as they appear. Some have already ended, their light still journeying toward you, an echo of existence. This thought no longer feels strange. It feels tender, reminding you that nothing vanishes at once, that endings glow softly before they fade. The memory drifts to the nurseries of stars, the nebulae hidden in dark corners, where new suns quietly ignite. You think of them not as distant phenomena, but as gardens, patient and slow, always beginning again. The moon, your nearest companion, returns too in your mind, always showing the same face, constant and faithful, its pull guiding tides as gently as a hand guiding water in a bowl. You feel its rhythm even now, in the steady pulse of your heart. Jupiter rises again in thought, the giant guardian catching comets in its gravity, protecting Earth without your asking. Saturn follows, with its thin, fragile rings, veils of ice and rock that circle in silence. These planets do not speak, yet you recall their presence as if they were guardians at the edge of your dream. The truths of space continue to flow through you. The silence of the cosmos where no air carries sound, the colors of stars that reveal their temperatures, the way time itself bends near immense gravity, flowing slower in places of great pull. Each one of these memories has softened into comfort, so that even black holes no longer carry fear, but appear as quiet centers of transformation, places where endings turn into something else, where nothing is wasted. You remember the Milky Way not as a name, but as a home, a spiral river of billions of stars, and you feel again the truth that you are not still, that you are moving with it, carried across the dark on a tide you cannot feel. You recall that galaxies gather into clusters, into families, woven by invisible strands of gravity into the cosmic web, and suddenly you feel yourself part of that web too, connected in ways unseen, never alone. The facts that once felt like discoveries now feel like reassurances. Exoplanets circling distant suns remind you that possibility is abundant. The sun, a middle-aged star burning with steady fusion, becomes a symbol of constancy. Comets loop gracefully in their orbits, carrying memory from the dawn of the solar system. Andromeda moves slowly toward us, not as collision, but as a dance of embrace. Expansion carries galaxies outward, space itself stretching, yet the motion feels like breathing, soft and unhurried. As the stream of memory continues, you return to the thought of light bending around galaxies, creating lenses, rings, and arcs. Even light itself is flexible. Even vision can be reshaped into beauty. You remember the black hole at the center of the Milky Way, anchoring the galaxy, not as a threat, but as a point of stillness, a calm core. You recall the auroras dancing in Earth's skies, gifts from the invisible magnetic shield that protects you. These images blend now into one another, a kaleidoscope of cosmic lullabies. The story is not just about stars and galaxies, it is about you. You remember the truth that the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen in your breath all come from stars. You are not separate from the night sky. You are the night sky rearranged into thought and breath. To know this is to feel belonging so complete that it cannot be undone. You are not a guest in the cosmos. You are its expression. The facts of the smallest things return as well. Meteors burning across the sky, no larger than grains of sand, yet painting streaks of brilliance. Pulsars spinning steadily, their beams sweeping like cosmic lighthouses. Dust floating in the spaces between stars, scattering light, carrying seeds of worlds. These smallest details remind you that size does not measure significance, that a grain of sand, a pulse of light, a wisp of dust can be luminous, eternal in its way. And as you remember these, you also recall the greatest. The walls of galaxies stretching for millions of light years, the massive storms on Jupiter and Neptune, the oceans hidden beneath Europa's icy crust, the rivers of methane flowing on Titan. All of these images return not as isolated facts, but as quiet scenes in a dream. Storms that look like art, oceans that hide in silence, rivers that flow even when unseen. You remember, too, the truths about time. That a day on Venus lasts longer than its year, that some stars live only millions of years while others endure trillions, that even black holes slowly evaporate. Time, you realize, is not one fixed rhythm but many overlapping songs. And you feel your own rhythm as part of that, valid, gentle, sufficient. Slowly, your mind drifts back through the constellations, the stories humans have traced in the sky for thousands of years. Orion, Lyra, Cygnus. You see them not just as patterns of stars, but as patterns of memory, shared across generations. The constellations remind you that you are part of a chain of dreamers, each one looking into the same sky, each one resting beneath the same light. And as the memories continue, you recall how the universe itself is filled mostly with what cannot be seen. Dark matter and dark energy, invisible but present. This thought does not unsettle you, it soothes you. It tells you that unseen things sustain existence, just as unseen love, unseen trust, unseen breath sustain you. The The circle continues closing. Gamma ray bursts, brief and bright, appearing as whispers across eternity. Neutron stars so dense a teaspoon would weigh billions of tons, yet they hum softly with their spinning. Rogue planets wandering in silence, still whole, still dignified. The cosmic microwave background, a faint glow from the beginning of time, still wrapping the universe like an ancient lullaby. And finally, you return to the greatest truth of all, that you are made of the same atoms as the stars, that the universe is not something outside of you, but something within you. Every breath, every thought, every moment of your being is the universe knowing itself. To sleep, then, is not to leave the world but to return to it, to merge again with its rhythm, its glow, its endless rest. The 100 facts are no longer separate, no longer counted. They are one stream, one fabric, one glow. They are not lessons but companions, not information but comfort. They have carried you across galaxies, across time, across silence, and now they rest with you, like stars gathering into dawn. The night is quiet. The universe is calm. You are safe in its arms. And as your eyes close, you drift not away from these truths but deeper into them, until they are no longer words, no longer thoughts, but simply the rhythm of your breath, the glow of your being, the gentle silence of sleep. The night no longer feels like something above you. It has lowered itself until it rests against your skin, close and gentle, like a blanket that does not press but simply touches. You are inside it now, and inside you the 100 truths of space are alive, not as separate memories, but as one glowing stream, flowing without edges. They no longer arrive as lessons, no longer numbered as steps. They are the pulse beneath silence, a soft tide that carries you toward rest. The universe itself seems to be growing quiet. Galaxies, once imagined in motion, now slow in your mind until they seem to hover, drifting like lanterns left on a still river. The stars no longer sparkle as bright points but merge into a mist of light, a Milky Way that is less a band in the sky and more a feeling beneath your ribs. You are not gazing at it, you are breathing with it. Each inhale is a spiral arm, each exhale a stretch of space, and in this rhythm, you dissolve into the larger rhythm that has always been here. You remember the vastness of the cosmos, the immeasurable distances that once seemed overwhelming. But now those distances are not frightening, they are soft. To think that light travels billions of years to meet your eyes is not to feel small, it is to feel connected. The light of stars, whether burning or already gone, brushes against you, as if the universe has carried messages across eternity just to comfort you tonight. What you thought of as emptiness is in truth fullness, a presence too quiet to notice unless you close your eyes. You recall how stars are born in nebulae, hidden cradles of dust and gas. You imagine those nurseries as gardens where suns bloom slowly, their light gathering like petals, their warmth unfurling with patience. These beginnings are not rushed, and neither are you. If even stars take their time to glow, you too can rest in slowness, becoming what you are at the pace of your own being. The lesson is not urgency, but gentleness. The memory of planets drifts back into you. Jupiter, vast and storm-filled, protecting Earth with its gravity like a silent guardian. Saturn, its fragile rings thin as veils, circling endlessly in silence. Uranus rolling on its side, taking decades to complete its seasons. Neptune, blue and distant, singing with winds that move faster than sound, yet appear serene. These are not distant worlds anymore. They are parts of the same dream you are lying within. Their patience, their endurance, their quietness, all speak to you. The moons return, too. Titan with its methane rivers, Europa with its hidden sea, our own moon with its constant face. Each one carries its own rhythm, its own secret, yet all of them are tied to larger patterns. You feel their presence as you drift, not as separate orbits, but as companions circling within your imagination, each whispering that life moves in cycles, not lines. The tides of water, the tides of breath, the tides of sleep, all are one. The silence of space, once strange to think of, now feels natural. You remember that there is no air between stars, no sound, and yet you do not miss sound. Silence itself has become the lullaby. The pulsing of variable stars, the steady rotations of pulsars, the distant hum of background radiation. All of these are rhythms beyond hearing. Rhythms you feel as if your body were an instrument tuned to the universe's song. Even black holes, which once seemed like darkness, no longer frighten you. They are no longer monsters but resting places, centers where matter folds into silence. The thought of them evaporating slowly over time feels like the thought of worries fading, of burdens dissolving, of shadows softening until nothing remains. They do not threaten you. They remind you that even endings are not final. They are simply transformations into gentler forms. You drift again into the memory of constellations, those stories traced in the night. Orion with his belt, Lyra with her harp, Cygnus stretching as a swan across the dark. These are not just patterns of stars, but patterns of human imagination, whispers from countless generations who also looked into the same sky, also found shapes, also felt less alone. To lie beneath them now is to join that chain of memory, to be one more dreamer woven into the fabric of time. The great truths of connection return as well. The cosmic web, with its invisible strands of gravity linking galaxies, reminds you that nothing drifts completely alone. Rogue planets wander without stars, yet they still carry their gravity, their quiet wholeness. Even intergalactic stars, shining between galaxies, remain luminous, proof that light does not need a place to belong. It belongs simply by existing. These truths settle in you like warmth. You are not cut off. You are always connected, even when unseen. You recall again that the atoms in your body are ancient, forged in stars long gone. Carbon, iron, oxygen, calcium, all of it born in fire, scattered in supernovae, gathered again into your breath, your bones, your blood. You are the memory of stars made flesh. To remember this is to let go of separateness, to feel that you are not beneath the universe, but within it, carrying it, expressing it. As these images circle through you, they no longer feel like individual truths, but like one long breath. Expansion of galaxies, bending of light, storms on Saturn, oceans beneath Europa, dust between stars, bursts of gamma light, the faint whisper of the cosmic microwave background. They blur together into a single field of presence. They no longer need to be understood. They are enough simply to be felt. And as you drift in this remembering, you realize the universe itself is falling asleep with you. The galaxies seem to dim, their lights becoming softer. The stars, once sharp, blur into a glow like mist. The planets slow in their paths, moons resting against them, comets pausing in their arcs. Even time itself seems to stretch into stillness, like a ribbon unspooling without end. The 100 truths do not vanish. They dissolve into dream, into silence, into your breath. They remain with you not as words, but as comfort, as presence, as belonging. The universe does not end, but it grows quiet. And you, too, grow quiet with it. Eyes heavy, body soft, mind weightless. You are not lying beneath the night. You are the night. You are not listening to the universe. You are the universe, resting in itself. And so the story folds closed, not sharply but gently, like a book that continues even after its last page. The stars glow, the galaxies hum, the silence deepens, and you, infinite, luminous, safe, drift into sleep, carried by the arms of space itself. The night no longer asks anything of you. It does not invite. It does not instruct. It simply is, vast and calm, wrapping itself around you like a sea with no shore. Within this sea, the 100 truths you have gathered do not shine as separate stars, but as a single diffuse glow, like mist over water, like breath on glass. You do not need to remember them sharply, for they have already melted into you. They are no longer lessons, no longer points of knowledge. They are part of your very rest. You drift back to the beginning, when you first learned that the universe is endless, and instead of fear you felt held by it. The memory returns not as information, but as warmth. Infinity is no longer a numberless vastness. It is a cradle with no edges, a bed so wide you cannot fall from it. To be inside something endless is not to be lost, but to be safe, surrounded from every side. The stars rise again in your memory, some alive, some already gone, their light still crossing the dark to reach you. They are echoes of what once was, whispers arriving late, but still clear. To think of this now is to feel that nothing ends abruptly. Every glow lingers. Every warmth stays after the flame. Every life leaves light that travels farther than distance itself. Nebulae bloom again in your imagination, gardens of dust and gas where new suns are kindled. They do not rush. They gather. They wait. They glow when ready. Their patience flows into you, reminding you that you, too, are allowed to unfold slowly. No star hurries its birth. No dream needs to arrive all at once. You are part of that same rhythm, allowed to rest without demand. The moon reappears, its same face turned to you as it has for billions of years. It does not need to change to remain faithful. Its pull on the tides, its glow in the night, its quiet rhythm, all are constant. To think of it now is to feel a pulse of companionship, a presence that has never left and will never leave. Jupiter returns, vast and protective, its gravity pulling dangers away from Earth. You feel its stormy mass not as chaos, but as shelter. Saturn drifts close in thought, its rings delicate as veils, circling endlessly. Their fragility does not lessen them. It is their beauty. Uranus tilts, Neptune sings with its silent winds, and you are reminded that even strangeness can be calm, even difference can carry harmony.